This is episode 3, the one with the kiss.
When not in Rome, what's to do in Civitavecchia?
How riposo could spoil your plans.
And carry on watching to see the biggest kiss in the world. So we arrived at Civitavecchia, which is the port for Rome.
Yeah, and we'd been to Rome last year. There are probably 3 ways to get to Rome from your cruise ship. You can go on a cruise excursion that they organise, go on an independent excursion, or you can get the train yourself. Last year we chose to go with P&O, spent about £90 each, and we went on a coach to Rome for the day. It was really good value. We got a coach, a tour guide, and our first port of call when we were there was the Vatican City, and we spent the morning there. We didn't have to queue to get in, we went straight in, and the tour guide was excellent. He gave some really good informative dialogue on what to see in there and the history, and it was really impressive, wasn't it?
It was really good because it moved us around quickly. We saw the main highlights of the Vatican, including the Sistine Chapel. That was incredible. So yes, that was a really good way to do it. I was really happy we chose that option.
And that was about, we spent the morning there. There was tons to do. You could spend days there. After that, we went and had lunch, didn't we? 3-course lunch. That was included in the price. And then we went to the Trevi Fountain, and we had a guided tour from the Trevi Fountain all through the streets of Rome up to the Colosseum.
The Trevi Fountain, gosh, wasn't that packed?
Yeah.
It was lovely, but it was packed. It was really.
And bear in mind, it was the beginning of May. It was a Monday, and it was quite cool weather, and it was packed.
Yeah.
So goodness knows what it's like on a July and summer holidays when it's hot.
So from Trevi Fountain, where did we go then?
Yeah, so as I said, we wandered up the street to the Colosseum.
Yeah.
And we didn't go in the Colosseum, we hadn't got time, because there is a lot to see in Rome, and we probably spent 9 hours there, but it's such a big place and it made us want to go back again. So this time we did think we're going to go back again, we'll catch the train, we'll go on our own, we know what to do, but 2 things stopped us, didn't they?
Yes. The big one was really the heat. It was going to be 40 degrees in Rome that day, so the idea of getting on the train in that sort of sweltering heat, getting off and walking all around Rome in that heat didn't fill us with much enthusiasm.
No, and it was school holidays, we knew it would be packed, so we decided to give it a miss. And we thought, what else can you do if you're not in Rome?
Yeah.
So we spent the morning on the ship, and that was really good because that meant we could experience the pool without there being crowds of people, because you will find that most people get off the boat in that port to go to Rome. And then we had lunch, and then we decided in the afternoon, let's go and see what it's got to offer.
Civitavecchia?
We got the shuttle bus, and here's some really important information, guys. The shuttle bus stops in 2 locations. Again, it's another port like Livorno where you have to get the shuttle bus. You can't just walk off the ship. The first stop it makes is the stop you want if you want to catch the train. It's much closer to the train station. We didn't know that. We stayed on and went to the second stop, which is more the stop the other side of town. Now I imagine in the morning there would be people there offering you excursions to Rome and such, but we got there at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. There was nobody there other than a guy handing out maps, and I like my maps, so we picked up a map and decided we're going to have a walk round on our own and see what it's got to offer.
Yeah, so importantly, if you want the train, get off at the stop that's Fortezza Michelangelo, and from there you take a right along the coast road, and the train station is only about 8 minutes walk away from the port. So once you're off there, don't bother hanging around to get a taxi or find a bus. It's an 8-minute walk. So as long as you're able to It's a flat walk along the front to the train station.
So we decided we'd have a wander around, see what it had to offer. We had a wander down to the front on the promenade, and that's where we came across a massive statue, huge statue. And you know, it was fabulous. It was very unexpected, wasn't it?
It was just really impressive. It sort of loomed out of nowhere, didn't it?
Yeah.
And it inspired us to take a picture or two.
We tried to recreate the pose. I don't think we managed it, but we had a good go.
With my back, I've got to be careful.
So we did that, had a look at that, and we wandered along the front. Again, there is a beach. If you've watched our other episodes, you know I like my beaches and my sea swimming, but it wasn't a particularly great beach. The waves again were crashing up. It was a bit of an overcast day, even though it was really hot. But I did think
and it was quite windy as well, wasn't it? I think even if you lay your towel on that beach, it was very rocky, and there was a lot of rubble, really, wasn't there, on the beach? Yeah,
so we wandered up to the train station just so we knew where it was, and then we headed back into town. There were two routes that you could follow on the map. We had a look at some of the things it pointed out, but when we got into town, everywhere was asleep.
It was. In Italy, it's riposo. In Spain, it is siesta. There were quite a few people off the boat complaining that all the shops were shut. But when in Rome, do as the Civitavecchians do. So we just wandered around some of the sites because we couldn't go shopping. Although we did find a supermarket that was open.
Yeah, there was a supermarket that was open, and there was a very nice shop selling fresh pasta that you could buy. But there didn't look many shops at all. If you like shopping, it's not a place to think, oh, I'll go and do my shopping there. Although it's a city, it was a very small city. Had a nice feel to it, but it was just really quiet. There were no locals around. I'd like to have experienced it when it was a bit more vibrant. So it might be an idea if you're going there and you just want to get off for an hour or two to go in the morning, because the shops would be open and the bars would be open. You might be able to sample things a bit more.
So then we decided that we go and visit the old historical quarter, which is a very small area situated around Piazza Leandra and Piazza Aurelio Saffi, and that was very picturesque, wasn't it? We talked to some of the locals at one of the cafes there for a little bit, and that was very nice.
Yeah, I think for me it didn't feel like a tourist destination. It felt very much just like a small, sleepy Italian town or city. You know, it was very nice, but it wasn't a tourist destination. So would we go back?
No, I'm glad we did it. If it sounds like the sort of place that you'd like to go to, brilliant. If not, I'd probably recommend travelling on from Civitavecchia. If you don't require a big day out, it's somewhere to have a poke around.
Thanks for tuning in, and I hope we've given you some tips. If you've liked what we've got, please give us a like and subscribe. Thank you, bye!